Welcome to the Alliance Connection, a podcast by the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance. Each week, we bring you insights on business, economic development, and community growth in the Greater Fort Dodge region. Our focus is to drive progress, support local businesses, and enhance the quality of life in our area.
Welcome back to the Alliance Connection. Today we're joined with someone who wears many hats, Corey Jansen with the Baker Group. Thanks for coming in, Corey.
You bet.
Awesome. We have a new location opening up in Fort Dodge, right?
We do. That's correct.
Yeah. Ribbon cutting on September 30th at 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Perfect. And that same day, we also have our Leading Ladies event right before it. So that's at noon to 1:30. And
should be able to go from one right to the other.
yes, it'll be great. So Corey, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay. Corey Jansen with Baker Group. I've been with them for about 5.5 years as a project manager. So we're a specialty contractor working in construction. I am based out of our Des Moines office, which we'll get into, but have been working now out of the Fort Dodge office since we moved in, which was actually back in June, and going through some remodels and getting the building ready for the ribbon cutting here in a couple weeks.
Yes, so exciting. So tell me a little bit about the Baker Group's background.
Sure. Baker Group was founded in the early 60s. So Bernie Baker started the company as a plumbing and heating organization. It grew from there. Bernie's son, BJ, who's been our leader for a number of years, took over in the 80s, expanded, made some acquisitions, grew organically, and developed the company into what it is today. And then somewhere in the 2018, 2019 timeframe, BJ was nearing retirement himself. So we've been we're in the middle actually of a process of becoming an ESOP organization. So, but Baker Group has expanded from that plumbing and heating I mentioned into sheet metal and electrical. And we're really a specialty, a multi-trade design build contractor
Awesome.
For both commercial and industrial industries. So
That's so cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for those of us who don't know, what is ESOP?
So ESOP is an employee stock ownership program or plan. So we're employee owned basically.
That's awesome.
So we're in a process right now of acquiring the business from BJ, and then that takes a number of years to go through that process. But eventually, we will all be part owners in the organization.
How cool!
Yes, it's very exciting to be a part of that.
That's so awesome. And the buy-in you get from employees at that point,
yes,
too.
it definitely, everyone feels that ownership and feels like they have a say in the direction of the organization. So
that's so awesome. So you said that you guys kind of do all things, not just plumbing, not just heating.
Right.
You just kind of.
It started out as that.
Yep.
And then, but yeah, so we're organized in what we call business units. So we have an industrial business unit that I'm in that I'll talk about. We have a mechanical business unit. We have electrical, sheet metal, and service. And then within those, we have compressed air and safety. And within those organizations, it breaks down even further into specialty cabling and structured cabling and things like that. So, we serve a lot of different industries. The industrial group that I'm in is predominantly for what we would call industrial or process facilities. Then we also have a lot of involvement on the commercial side of the business. So, schools and retail and churches and office buildings and things like that. We service those as well in those same trades. But the group I'm specifically in focuses more on the industrial side of the world.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So what made you guys choose Fort Dodge as a new location?
Yeah, so we've been, it's a good story. About 3 years ago, we started seeing some opportunities come our way from clients in the Fort Dodge area. We have a group of field individuals that were already working here, basically working out of their truck. And so as those opportunities started coming to us more, we thought, okay, there's a need in that community. We can help serve that. And so what do we do? So about 2.5 years ago, we did what an organization would do when they're looking to expand like that, and we wrote a business plan. So we wrote that plan. We presented it to the senior leadership within our organization and got their approval to proceed. Yeah. And so we started putting a a lot larger effort into trying to grow the business and acquire clients and customers in this area. As a result, that sort of started to snowball, and we had some good success. And within that plan, it had us, within about 3 years, it had us opening an office. And so, like I mentioned, this was about 2 years ago. And so we're really about a year ahead of that plan. So earlier this spring, maybe March, April, we had an opportunity come to us for the property that we're leasing now. And we thought, okay, that's a little bit ahead of when we planned, but the business is going great. We're growing better than we even thought. Let's go ahead and explore that. So we started working with the owner of the facility and came to terms. And in June, we moved in. And so we felt like it's an area that can support the goals that we have, and it's a tremendous area of industry in Fort Dodge and the surrounding areas. So we feel like it's a great fit for us, and we're excited to be here.
Yeah, we have so much growth going and so many things happening and more to come.
Yep.
I feel like you guys are ahead of the schedule, and you're going to be so ready.
Yeah, it's been really a great effort so far, and there's a lot of people, and when we get to our ribbon cutting, there's a lot of people to thank and a lot of effort that went into it, and so we're excited for that and happy for everyone involved.
Yes, we're so excited. Where do you see growth opportunities with this new office?
So when we were working before, like I mentioned, we had field staff here. We were already doing some work in this area, but we always were, there was still a little bit of a label on us of being a kind of an outside contractor. And Fort Dodge community is very much a relationship-driven environment. A lot of the customers have contractors they've used in the past and have built those relationships. So we were at the very beginning of that effort. But when it came to wanting to serve the community and serve it with a local contractor, we didn't really have that label like we wanted or thought we should have.
Yeah.
And so establishing an address, if you will, and some property here, that bridges that gap a little bit. We operate very similar to what we did before. We just have a few more amenities to in our resources that we can fall back on, as far as we can do some prefabrication and some manufacturing in our facility now. We have some office space to support the staff side of the business, and so it just helps us be a little bit more integrated into the community.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you are an ambassador with us and part of the board.
Yep.
How has your experience at the Growth Alliance been so far?
It's been fantastic. So it's been a kind of a joint effort between myself and my boss, Sam Lindy. Sam's local to the area, grew up in Fort Dodge, and had a lot of contacts within the Alliance already from a personal basis. Sam started getting involved with myself, and then as it evolved, kind of started handing over more of those duties to myself. And that's been maybe 2 years now. I think we've been members at that level. And then just this spring, came on board as an ambassador. I think you and I went through training maybe April or so.
Yeah,
or
I
June.
think that's about right.
And
somewhere
so,
in there.
And so I've been in the ambassador role since then. So and attending open houses and ribbon cuttings and celebrations, and it's been fantastic. So we've really enjoyed it. It's been it's helped us make connections. It's really opened our eyes to what the power of the Alliance can do and everything. So it's been great.
That's so great to hear.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to the Alliance Connection podcast. Stick around as we hear a quick word from our sponsor.
The online undergrad programs, what's the format for those? Like, how do they all work out?
It's up to the student, because there are some students that simply, they just take classes as they can. But our terms are 7.5 weeks as of next fall. Right now, they are still 8 weeks. Most of our students do qualify for grants and loans, whether they're federal or state. We also have some scholarship opportunities. So we do have Pell Grant for most of our students, and then Iowa Tuition Grant is one of the best things available to our students, because most of our students come from Iowa. And so Iowa Tuition Grant is for those private universities to be able to offer to Iowa residents. So we have a graduate financial specialist, and we have an undergraduate online financial specialist to really help just guide students.
So what is your favorite moment from an Alliance event?
You know, I've really enjoyed, and I haven't made every one of them, but I really enjoyed the meet and eats. It's been, I didn't know what to expect going to those. I didn't know a lot of people initially.
Right.
Have since made some contacts and relationships, and it's a very comfortable luncheon to go to. And one of the things I like the most about it is just the insight and the feedback we get from some of the community leaders that attend, as well as the Alliance members, just to share what's going on in the community. Gives people a chance to ask some questions and kind of do a deep dive into maybe projects that are going on or questions about projects that are going on. I think it's been fantastic. I love to attend it. It gets us to some different venues in town. I was not familiar with the community orchard before, and I've really enjoyed that. And
right, isn't that such a cool space?
It's fantastic.
And then they had their Nestle's 50th out there, and you got kind of the full experience from that.
And the new the facility down by the river too has been great. They held a lunch and learn there, or a meet, a time or two down there, and that's been great. So that's been really one of the highlights of being in it, and the attending a couple board meetings now, and really getting into the weeds on some. A lot of topics that the Alliance is involved with has been really enjoyable to provide feedback into that, as well as listen to what everybody has going on.
Yeah, we really enjoy having you, and you're like very engaged, and it's so fun to see you show up, because we're like, we never know, because you don't live in town, so it's like, dang, he drove all this way just to come to our event.
No, it's I'm trying to get into being remote like that, just trying to get into a routine has been one of the priorities I've had, and have found that routine now, and so it's been very comfortable to make most, if not all, of those events, and it's really been helpful for us to feel like we're a part of the community. So
and I feel like Baker Group does such a great job at getting involved in the communities that they work in. When I sat down with Kayla, your marketing gal, she had so many cool things to talk about. We're so excited to have you in Fort Dodge.
Yeah, they really do support efforts that we want to do that are really beyond our core business. It takes us out of the field sometimes for a day or part of a day to do those, but the Baker Group supports those interests, and it really even starts with, like, in the summers when we hire a group of interns, we really start to engage them in those events as well, just to show them how Baker Group goes about their day to day, and gets them involved in the community, volunteering, attending events, things like that. So all those are great things to say about the company.
Yeah, how awesome. So what excites you most about Baker Group's future in Fort Dodge?
So I think that, we have, in a relatively short period of time, really just going back to establishing the facility here, have made some great connections and great contacts at a lot of the facilities that we are currently doing work in, as well as making contacts at facilities that we would like to do work in. And so what we're excited about is that the response we've gotten has been very positive. There's been a few facilities we've even made contacts with through the Alliance that we never would have probably made or have progressed to this point with that client if it weren't for contacts within the Alliance. So we're just excited if, with the effort we've put in so far, the return we've got on it has been fantastic. So that's only, in our mind, is only going to increase and get better.
Yeah.
So.
That's so awesome to hear that you've gotten connections and your membership is paying off.
Yep.
And
there's been a couple luncheons I went to. I think even one board meeting where it was a very random encounter that I had sitting beside someone at lunch that then turned into some work opportunities. So it's been, from that aspect, it's been fantastic.
That's so great. So what would you say is like the most fun or interesting part of your job?
So one of the things, as a project manager, it's it's sort of cliche to say, but it's unique and different every day, and that gets used pretty commonly, but it really is true. In the industrial world, there's quite a range and a variety of industries that are served in this area, as well as just in the industrial world as a whole. So we'll walk into a facility where we're, if it's a simple pipe modification, all the way up to changing out vessels and pumps and working on the automation of that process and the controls and the communication. And so it is just so incredibly different every day, and that's exciting. And it's even I'm a mid to late career person, and to feel like I can still learn things by going into facilities that are doing things I hadn't seen before or new is very exciting to me, and that just keeps the fire going and keeps the motivation up to learn about what we're doing.
That's so cool. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give to small or local businesses that think about joining the Growth Alliance?
Mm-hmm. So we, when we joined the Growth Alliance ourselves, we didn't know a lot about it. It was new to us. We thought it was an opportunity to maybe meet some folks and do some networking, and it has been that and more. So yeah. I would encourage anyone that's considering it to take a look at it. And there's various levels within there that they can join and be involved, but the opportunities to network and meet folks and just share ideas, and people have concerns and thoughts that you may have as well too, and to share those and understand how that can help your business grow is all very well worth it. I think it's been fantastic. It's a group unlike any I've been involved with before, and in a positive way. So I would encourage anyone that's considering it to take a look at it and ask questions of current members and just see what they think, like we're doing now. And I think that everyone would share a very similar sentiment as far as supporting that joining. Mm-hmm.
That's great. Do you have anything else that you'd like to talk about or touch base while we're here and we have an active audience?
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. I appreciate the opportunity. We're, when we have 2 weeks from today is our ribbon cutting, and we can definitely answer more questions. We'll have all the different Baker Group parts of our organization will be represented there. So if people are curious or are wondering more about what our organization does, we should have the right folks there to help them through that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's going to be so awesome. So for those of you listening, if you didn't catch it before, September 30th at 4 p.m.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep. Ribbon cutting at 4. Well, like we typically do, ambassadors will have a couple. There's a lot of thank yous to go around. We'll have a short spiel, and then we've got catered food and drink and some giveaways and a lot of networking. So
tell me about these giveaways.
Well, that's mostly probably some Baker Group swag.
Nice.
Yeah. And maybe some games or so to play. We'll have some music there, some entertainment, and should be fun. Yeah.
I'm so excited. So what is one of your favorite things to do in Fort Dodge that doesn't include your job?
Okay. So I think I have 2, and both of them I think I'm going to say are potential favorites because I've not really done one, but maybe not the other, and that is the dragon boat races. At one of the luncheons earlier this year, there was a representative there talking about that, and I think maybe even at the winter dinner, the awards banquet, I think it was brought up.
Yep.
And I was not familiar with that at all, and I've got that marked on my calendar to be sure and attend. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yes.
And then having gone to the community orchard now a couple of times just for a meet and eat, definitely am going to be making a trip back there with the family for just our own trip and purpose. So those are a couple things that I've identified. We've played in the Growth Alliance golf outing the last couple of years. We'll continue to do that. Actually, this is our 3rd year. We've had a lot of fun. We'll always attend that. That's been a great event, and so those are a few things that I've really enjoyed.
That's awesome. And I think the community orchard has a Apple Fest coming up. Okay. I'm not 100% sure on when, but we will have that information, the ribbon cutting, all the other different things happening in our show notes of this episode. So you might want to come out for Apple Fest.
Yeah, I've got, I picked up, I think a sheet or 2 that they had a calendar of events, and I brought that home. So I am looking that over. Yep.
Awesome. Well, we need to give a shout out to our floral sponsor, Becker Florists. They always make sure we are looking seasonal and fresh, and we really appreciate that. I'm going to tell y'all to like, subscribe, and share so that we can get the word out about Fort Dodge and the Growth Alliance and the Baker Group and all of our other members. That's a wrap for today. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Every connection strengthens our community, and every conversation sparks new opportunities. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Alliance Connection.
Follow the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance online and on social media. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
I'm Astra,
I'm Katy,
and we'll see you next time.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.